Here's the Imperium overview for today's ITC game of Nexus Control. We've seen this show before, but might be the last time we see it for a while. Gonna go into some guard shenanigans, maybe some Space Wolves, maybe some Templars for funsies. But here's our Warlord, the Knight Castellan. He has armor of the Sainted Ion and Blessed by the Sacristans for his things. We did spend a CP for Endless Fury to replace that Gallon Cannon. But we've got the Castellan, we've got ourselves a Knight Crusader, Gallon Cannon, Iron Storm Missile Pod, Thermal Cannon, Heavy Stubber, Knight Paladin, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, 2 Heavy Stubbers, Chain Sword. Then we've got ourselves our Guard contingent, Loyal 32, plus some extra bits, but 2 Company Commanders, sorry about the unpainted one. 10-man Guard Squad with a Heavy Bolter, 10-man Guard Squad with a Heavy Bolter times 2. A little bit of a mortar squad here and a hellhound, but this is the Imperium army for today. We'll see them later, but yeah, here we go.
Let's get a little Orc army overview for today's Battle of Nexus Control ITC mission. Same armies you saw last week, just different deployment zone, different terrain, but we'll get into it. Let's do another overview. We got the War Boss down here with the Killer Claw. This is we are trying something different with the Evil Sons Battalion detachment, so we get those extra inches in movement. We have a Warped back here with the Jumping Warpath, and then another weird boy with Fist of Gork. This War Boss does have the Killer Claw, and then we got a unit of 30 Evil Sun Boys, another unit of 30 Evil Sun Boys. Again, sorry for the no paint on those 9 boys back there, but I spent all week rebasing, getting all these boys up to 32 mil finally from the 25 mil, so that took all my time in magnetizing these bases so they don't fall out. And then we got the 3rd unit of 10 boys. That's the battalion for there. Then let's get into the Bad Moons, where we spent a CP for extra gubbins and for the extra specialist detachment here for Dasut Up Shaka on the Big Mech with right there. Then we got a Big Mech with the Custom Force Field Index Edition with the Pain Boy and a Runt Herd. Then we got a unit of 30 Shooter Boys in the Bad Moons detachment battalion. And then we got a unit of 20 Gretchen and a unit of 15 Gretchen. Don't have to rebase those because they're itty bitty guys. Then we got some Tank Busters with their Bomb Squigs. I already rebased those guys, so they're under legal size bases. Then we got a unit of 8 Ludas that are all Ludas, and then we have a unit of 7 Ludas that there's not a single Luda in there, but we're still trying to see if 15 work. And this is our War Boss. Again, partially contrast painted, but he has the Warlord traits of the Bad Moons, which is basically 4+ invuln. And then we do have this Death Roll Battle Wagon with all the big shooters and the lava. That's it for the
All right, here's how we deploy. We're gonna look at the Imperium side first. We did get the Dawn of War deployment, so old favorite. Welcome back, old friend. But got a guard squad over there, Paladin on an objective, some guard squad screening, a Castellan, a Hellhound, and a Crusader. Behind that Manufactorum are some mortars and a Company Commander. Then we're gonna rotate over here to the Green Tide. We've got a guy with a shock attack gun up in the elevated position where he should be and where he belongs. Whole just gaggle of boys. All the characters there in the center of the map. We've got a Grot Shield, or Grot's Gretchen, and then the Ludas, and some more boys, and in the Teleporter, we've got ourselves a battle wagon with some tank busters, I believe. But here's the Nexus Control map. It's basically a diamond, despite the confusing measurements. But yeah, just an objective in each quadrant of the board. But here is how we set up. Imperium is going to go first. End of Imperium turn 1. As expected, did a lot of shooting. Ended up, between all of us here, we killed, the big win is 1 Grot. And then we killed a unit of Ludas, and we killed a bunch of boys. Ended up killing 38 total models, which is good. But let's be honest, the real highlight here, yeah, that's a guard squad. We moved into the second floor here. We'll see how that turns out, but just wanted to do it because we can. But here's where we stand at the end of the Guard, Imperium, Knight, House Hawkshroud, insert hashtags, turn 1, and we're going to go into Orc, turn 1 coming up soon.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
End of Orc, turn 1. A little bit faster move here. Get used to that. But let's pan out here from the zone. So kind of the first thing that happened, right? After these boys over here got totally decimated down to 11 models after 19 took the loss. Played Unstoppable Green Tide and then dejumped after Warpathing. And we got 2 units of boys mobbing around that Knight Paladin over there. So, and then they ended up not shooting at it because what's the point? Need time. And just charged in. Evil Sons got to add 1 to their charge rolls, so they both successfully made it. And then with all the fighting and warpathing and total about 122 attacks, took off 10 wounds. So I call that a win. And then lost 3 boys, it looks like, or is that 8 boys in the interrupt stratagem where he fought back. That's good. And I lost 3 models, those white unpainted models. They're born to die because they're not painted. Lost those in Overwatch originally when he did the whole family, everybody gets to shoot at you, 2 knights shooting at Overwatch, and only lost 3 models, so I'll call that a win. But before all that happened, these boys kind of stepped up, my Shooter Boys, Bad Moons clan, lit into that stand over there, even with cover, wiped out that guard squad. So well done there. And unintentionally / intentionally, the boys were able to grab Recon for that, and then were able to, again, 10 wounds, got Titan Slayer point there, and then killed a unit, held an objective, 2 points there, and then held 2 objectives to 0 for there, and then the Knights and their army killed 2 units, so they got the point for killing more units, but they killed a unit, held an objective at their point, and then they killed 49-ish total models, so 2 points on recon for them, or for, what's that called? Where they kill 20 plus models, whatever that is, Demolisher, Reaper, there we go, Reaper. So 2 points for there. So at the end of turn 1, we are sitting 5-5.
End of Imperium, turn 2. We tactically withdrew with these 2 guard squads to allow our
fall back
to allow our heavier firepower to support us, and wiped out 2 units of boys here. Cleared that objective off. Here is where we currently stand. We have maxed out Reaper, which is good, I guess. But this is where we stand at the end of Imperium turn 2, going into Orc turn 2.
End of Orc turn 2. Started out very promising. And then we actually started moving. Yeah, that's about what happened. So did some moving, held that objective, got these Gretchen over to that objective, so that's good. He wasn't on any good start there. Move these guys over, and then in mid thought, like I Fist of Gort, and then Warpath, this War Boss that was right there, and then jumped him over here, because I was going to take out that knight. And then we dropped the Battle Wagon with the Tank Busters, 9 inches away from here, and then split fired with the Bomb Squigs all going over to the Knight Paladin, and then the Tank Busters shooting over there. I think we did another 5 wounds or so to the Paladin and 8 wounds over to that Knight. It's not the Castellan, but it's another Knight. Took 8 wounds over there from the Tank Busters because they get to reroll everything. Great start, great start. Boom, boom. That's about all the shooting that happened. Luda's, those Ludas shot over to the Castellan. Didn't do anything. Still not a fan of Luda's, but I need the 48 range of shooting anything else. Maybe need to start targeting other stuff. Then we played the stratagem for ramming speed, 2CP. 3d6 on the charge here for this vehicle with that def roll in front, only 9 inches away. And then D3 if you roll a 2+ once you get there. Never seen this in my life, never done it in my life. I rolled 3 1s. I could have tried to re-roll one of those ones for a CP and roll a 6 to get my 8+1. But actually the +1 wouldn't work, because he is Bad Moons and not Evil Sun. So, yeah, I just totally blew it. And then that bled over to this War Boss over here, who is just going to come light this guy up with Tequila Claw after he already took 8 wounds. Yeah, he died in Overwatch. He only had to fire a weapon to kill him. That's just... Dice Gods were not happy. Let's back up to the shooting phase. Guess who forgot to shot? Yeah, the souped up Shaka that I spent 2 CP to get. Dice gods, I apologize. I will make a blood sacrifice tonight to the dice gods. But at the end of round 2, the Knight army with 10 VP and the Orks with 8. So down by 2 going into turn 3.
End of Imperium turn 3. Big story is we knocked out the battle wagon. The Big Mech died on the way out of the explosion, and then we did kill a handful of tank busters, and some ran in morale. But here is where we currently stand going into Ork turn 3.
End of Ork turn 3. These boys were jumped over here. This is my shooty boys. They wiped a guard squad off of that objective marker. So that maybe I could squeeze in there and get it next turn. Ludas did a whole bunch of firing with more DACA into the Castellan again. Might have taken a wound or 2 off of him, maybe 1. 2 wounds went through. Tank busters moved into cover on this side, and then the 3 remaining tank busters after that weird boy up there smited them, destroyed the Knight Paladin. So that was wonderful. And then he exploded, and then command point re-rolled and exploded again. And then took out the company commander over there. That's not there anymore. And then with 4 wounds there, and took out 3 more of this Cadian guard squad. And that's kind of where we stand right now. At the end of turn 3, we are all tied again at 13 to 13 victory points. Those, again, board control for Orks. Give me the points. What a surprise.
End of Imperium turn 4, did shooting, because that's what we do. Killed the tank busters, killed a weird boy, killed 8 boys on the left flank. Did take a shot with the Oathbreaker missile system at the semi-contrast painted war boss, took 3 wounds off him. And this is where we stand at the end of Imperium turn 4. Coming up next, Orks.
All right, end of Ork turn 4. Yeah, made it through 4. Still got 15 minutes left. There's a chance I can finish this. Helps when half my army has totally been wiped off the board. But that's cool. Still holding objectives. These Ludas did get jumped over to this building and took the guard squad off of that objective point. So that's our objective marker, so that's good. The souped up Shaka did another round of whiffing against the Hellhound, but, you know, the threat level is real. Everybody else just kind of moved around, but did kill a unit. We actually killed... No, I didn't kill 2 units. Just killed 1 unit, but held 2 objective markers, so getting the points there. And at the end of turn 4, the Knights at 18 victory points, the Orks at 17. Point fest.
End of Imperium turn 5, we killed the Ludas. We killed the Ork boys, and we Oathbreaker guidance missile system with our last CP, the war boss, and did a mighty 6 damage to him and knocked him out. So that's the end of Imperium turn 5. Did some shooting work, because that's what we do. And going into Ork turn 5.
End of Ork turn 5. Really just kind of moved some stuff around, but only shooting was the souped up Shaka at this Hellhound here. Took off 3 wounds, so that's actually wounded. I had to change the dice from the fancy numbered dice back to the Ork dice. But I did jump the Rut Herd into this building over here so I could get recon for next turn. I should have done that like 7 turns ago. Then he would have been just recon the whole game. Lessons learned. But that's really all that happened. At the end of turn 5, I believe it's 28 to 24? Or 27, 23. Regardless, Imperium's up by 4 going into turn 6.
End of Imperium turn 6, we killed the Big Mech. We then, overkill is underrated on the Gretchen Grats. And this is where we currently stand. Knight Castellan, Knight Crusader, Hellhound, Warphead, Painboy, Grat Squad. So going into Ork turn 6, proud of Chris, he's got 12 minutes left. I'm ready for a nap.
And here we are at the end of Ork turn 6 and the end of the game. Rut Herd, who was jumped over here at the beginning of last turn. Behind enemy lines, plus 1 point. Looking at that Knight, the Knight looking at him, but can't shoot him because he's technically in cover. But then as we move around the rest of the board, kind of struggled this game a lot. But learned some stuff, figured out some stuff to do better. That Warphead over there tried to jump the Pain Boy over into this corner for a recon. Yeah, that failed miserably with Snake Eyes. And then really didn't have anything to shoot or do anything with. So, yeah, that's how it ends. End of the game, victory points 22 for the Orks and 28 for the Knights. And it's golf scoring today, so Orks win! Wow.